All right, guys, welcome back to Pappy's Outdoor South. Today we're going to do a little walkthrough on a 2025 Lowe SF214 pontoon boat. I've just recently purchased this, and prior to buying this, I was looking up information online and I couldn't find anything of recent. Everything was 3 years, 5, 15 years old. So after I have purchased the boat, I like it. It suits my needs. I want to do a walkthrough with you. So if you're in the market for a boat, it can have some information that you could be looking for. So with that, we're going to start the tour just right here on the back where we're at. This one comes with a 115, and that's about a standard engine for this size of a pontoon boat. The overall length of the boat is 22 foot. The deck is 20 foot 10 inches. That's on the inside. It is fuel injected, has one battery. I'm going to be putting a battery in that other blank void over there just because there's room for it, and I would prefer to have 2 batteries. That is your fuel tank, and it is a standard 24-gallon fuel tank. We took it out yesterday, the first time we took this out, and we had about 3/4 of a tank in it, and we run it most of the day. The fuel gauge is still almost on 3/4 of a tank. It's turning winter time, so we put some fuel additive in it. I don't want anything to happen to it. It comes with 4 collapsible cleats, 1 on each corner. We'll get more on the inside when we get up there, but it does have gates on the back on both sides for fishing, and it actually does work pretty well for fishing. This one does have the chrome package, which has got the Lowe brand on it. The SF214 is Sport Fisher 21 foot with 4 swivel fishing seats. That's what that stands for. It's a little bit dirty. I've cleaned the inside, but I've not had a chance to get to the outside, and while we got a pretty day, I want to go ahead and shoot the video. We'll go around the trailer while I'm talking. It has a very strong, sturdy trailer. This one actually has powder coated rims. It wasn't a must for me by no means, but they were on the trailer, so it's just a little added benefit, a little positive. It has brakes on the front axle. As you can tell, there's disc brakes. What these are is brake assist. It's not electric brake, so if your vehicle does not have an electric brake controller, that's no problem. There is a master cylinder right inside the tongue, and this tongue will move. As you hit the brakes on your vehicle, it pushes the trailer forward, which shoves the rod into a master cylinder, and you can check the fluid and all under here. It does work pretty well. I pull it with just a F-150 with a 5.0, and it is not a bit of problem in the world. One thing I did find was a little different that I wasn't used to. It has a 5-prong flat plug. They graciously give me the adapter to it, so it doesn't work on a 4-prong plug. It's a 5-prong, so it's a little unique for me, but they hooked me up. They give that to me. And one thing you see here, I put a strap down right here from the bottom of the boat down to the trailer. Whenever I was towing it home, the boat was actually bouncing a lot. We don't have the best roads here in Alabama, so it was actually bouncing a lot. And by the time I got home, I could get my hand between the pontoon and the bumper. So I've just put that on there. It ain't gonna come off the trailer, but I really don't want it moving at all. So I put that on there to tighten it down to where it can't rock. And that did not give me any more issues after that. The trailers, most every one of them have a really nice walk-up ladder. You can step right in. It's got a half door on the front. That is a cutout, so if you want to put a trailer motor in there, you can, and I'll get a little bit more into that when I get inside. There is a mount there where the trailer motor can be installed or taken off. You have your navigation lights on either side. The pontoons, and I was reading on this just a few minutes ago, if you run over something and you puncture a pontoon, that pontoon will not completely fill up with water. There's a compartments inside it that is sealed off. It'll list and it'll lean over but it will not sink. So hopefully you did not hit anything, but if you do, just know it's not going to sink all the way. On the back of it back here, it has a really nice foldable ladder. My grandkids will use this a lot, I'm sure. You just pull it, release it, and it is a very safe ladder. There's really good solid grips all the way up. So I'm not into the swimming sports, but I got grandkids that are. Again, we got cleats on all four corners. The trailer is all pretty standard. We'll go up inside the boat. Now I've got a ladder on the side here, guys, just because it's just easier to get up into, but you can climb up on the front or the back, either one would do absolutely fine. Now I was talking to them whenever I bought the boat about how I was going to hang bumpers on it. Well, they also hooked me up with this right here. That just slides over the edge of the pontoon railing, and you just shove it in. It's a pretty neat little deal. So Freedom Marine in Gunnersville, they took good care of me. They hooked me up on that. We're gonna go over some other stuff. I'm just moving things around. One thing I didn't particularly like, when you read the brochure, this says a rod locker or lockers. Well, you can't lock this. There's no lock on it. Now it can be storage where you can put your rods down in there. You can close it, but you cannot lock it unless you put a different latch on it, and which I probably will. Now this one over here is the storage for your trolling motor batteries, and I did opt to put a trolling motor on it. It does have a lock on it, and you can see the keyhole right there. So you can actually lock this one. It keeps your battery secured. They're up underneath the box right there. That little box on top is for storage. It has the connector that goes into the box right here for your trolling motor. So you don't even have to have the trolling motor on the boat. You can take it plumb off. They actually give me the onboard charger, and they put a through plug in for me, so I don't have to pull all this apart to run a cord out. I can just do it right there. Like I say, Will at Freedom Marine hooked me up on all this, took great care of me. I really appreciate him. Seats on the front, really nice, comfortable seats. You release them under the bottom here. I've got them tightened down now for transit, but they'll swivel in all directions. We were running noodles yesterday and coming right off the front here with a pole to grab them. It worked out really well. Let's go ahead and let this down. Now if you notice the flooring, this is a vinyl floor, it's not carpet, which is great. Carpet is just going to get destroyed. This you can wash this, clean this, scrub it with a mild soft brush and mild soap. You can keep this thing looking new for a long time. One thing I did discover yesterday, there's not a lot of storage room on this boat. This is not a pleasure boat where you got couches and chairs everywhere. There is storage under every one of the couch cushions, but I've got 8 life jackets under there already, so all that is almost dedicated and used. There is quite a bit of storage room underneath your helm right here. You just have to be careful because there is electrical wiring and stuff in here. I wouldn't put nothing big and heavy, but I've got 3 boxes under there. A lot of room to put stuff that you just want to have, but you may not need all the time. What I was doing yesterday, I had my tackle boxes in here. This is a divided live well. I turned it off. I wasn't going to put no water in it. I put tackle boxes in here, my bumpers, all kind of stuff I had inside here just to give me this much storage room. This live well is a 23-gallon live well, so it'll hold a lot of water, a lot of fish room. I didn't use it because we got another one on the back that I'll show you in just a minute. I thought, you know what, I'll just use the one on the back and I won't be concerned with the one on the front. But let me go ahead and walk you to the back and I'll show you why I've changed my mind. I caught one fish and it was probably 9 pound. Shoot, still smell like fish in there. This is just the extra rod holders that I have put on the railing back here. The fish was too big for this. This would be great for bait or small fish, but if you're doing something like catfish, you're not going to want to use this. This is just not big enough to hold it. This is only like a 12-gallon live well. It will work, but it is too small. This would be a better bait tank, or if you're just doing crappie or something. It does have a plug in it. All you do is put it in. The catfish actually knocked the plug out yesterday, which we were going to eat him anyhow. I gave him to a friend of mine that wanted him. Not enough room in there for large fish. So that is why I've cleaned the front one out. That it is no longer going to be storage. It is actually going to be a live well. Where we fish in Guntersville, we belong to a Mountain Lakes Resort. We've been catching fish, 50 pounders. A 50-pound fish would have fit in here. Now he'd been a little tight, but he would have went in here. We've been catching a bunch of 40s and 30s and 20s. I don't know why you would want the divider. Maybe you've got different species of fish, but it does divide. You could use this for a cutting board also to cut your bait if you don't have anything as a cutting board. But it's a very large live well. Cup holders, as you can see, there's cup holders. I think there's 12 on this boat. They are everywhere. The cockpit right here, really nice. I've got some papers there. I was looking at how to do a GoPro on this thing, and there's actually a mount right there that I can put. You just have to make sure you're back enough to keep the door from the live well hitting it, but that mount right there actually works really well. You have tachometer, fuel, and your trim, and your miles per hour. And down here in the bottom, which I thought was going to be hours of operation, it actually is a GPS. It tells you you're heading north, south, west, east, and so on. One cool thing about this is if you're out here at nighttime, if you turn these on, they light up. Every one of them has light up tips. So if you get ready to get off of your boat at nighttime, late evening, you'll see something is on to keep from running your batteries dead. The little kicker stereo. If you're really looking into partying and jamming, it's not going to be loud enough for you. It's plenty loud enough to hear, but if you're into wanting to thump and hear some loud music and let everybody else hear your music, this is not going to be loud enough for you. It has two 50-watt speakers, one there and one back here behind me. It does sound really nice and clear, but there is no thumping, no bass to it. You have two USB ports right here. You have one port to where you could plug an adapter to, and you could have two more ports if you needed them. That one I just connect to my phone the whole time I'm out, because the radio will Bluetooth to your phone and you can listen to what music you like. There is tilt steering. If you pull the lever, you can adjust the steering wheel. You have a phone holder over here. You slide your phone in here. The horn, I'll just turn the switch on. It actually has a pretty loud horn. It's not one of those little weak rinky-dink things that we're used to. The fish finder, which again is an option. If you want it, you have to pay for it. Well, I was trying to get the cover off. I put it back on yesterday. Let me set my GoPro down for 1 second. There you go. So it's a Lowe Eagle 4. There's not a lot to it. The main reason I like the depth finder, I like to know what the depth of the water is that I'm actually in. I will get more involved into learning to actually read what I'm looking at, but for now, I like to know the depth of the water. And it has a nice cover. You want to remove this cover when you're hauling it, because wind comes in behind it and you will lose your cover. The shifter, throttle, trim, all that works really nice and smooth. You have your safety cord here. You're supposed to always hook that to you when you're underway. You have another cup holder down here. I've still got some of the keys to a few of these other lockers in here. The little table right here was nice. I didn't know it come with it, but it did. It looks almost like a standard feature on most boats. You can take this away and store it out of the way, but it's really nice. The wife was sitting back yesterday on the couch. The couch is actually very, very comfortable. Very thick, feels almost like memory foam. One thing about this, all this interior stuff, guys, this thing carries a door slamming up against my ladder. This thing carries a full 10-year manufacturer's warranty from bow to stern on almost everything. The seats, the electronics, everything. But the deal with that is you have to take care of them. If you've had boats in the past or you've seen other boats laying around, and I've got a couple out here that are prime example that are not treated the best in the world. I've got covers over that, but they've been out in the element. If you take it back to the dealer because your stitching is coming out of your seats or something, and they look at it and they will be able to tell that it's not been covered up, it's not going to be a warrantable item, guys. You will have to pay for that. The cool thing about this, it comes with a complete playpen cover that'll cover this whole boat up, and it's up here on the back of my truck. I'll put it on here in just a few minutes after I get through this video, but I wanted to leave it out so y'all can see all this. The captain's seat, full rotate. You can join the conversation going on here. You can watch poles in the back or talk to whoever's fishing in the back. The bimini top is a 9-foot 1-inch top. It's not bad to put up. I put it up myself, take it down myself. Real easy to latch these things in. When you let it down, it'll be this high off the boat. That's about 10 inches for just for storage. Swivel seats on the back. You've already seen most of this. This is the back workstation. It does have a ruler on it from 0 to 24 inches. Most of the fish we've been catching, that's not near long enough, but for your bass and crappie, absolutely. It has rod holders on both sides that are pretty nice. Again, this has vinyl flooring in it. It's going to have a good cleaning here before too long. I need to plug that up, keep water out of it. This is a view from the back of it by the workstation all the way to the front. My hope is, guys, that somebody's out there considering buying a boat, but they're looking for information on the boat. I could not find information I was looking for. Everything that I was looking at, most of it was 5 years old, 10 and even 15 years old on a Lowe brand boat. If you get the party boats, they don't have all the swivel seats. They're solid couches all the way around, so gap for your doors. And if that's what you're into, man, they're nice. I've seen them. They are really, really nice. Talking about storage a while ago, we talked about up under here. That is all your electrical stuff under there, so you want to be really sure not to put nothing heavy there. What I have already figured out, since there is plenty of room to haul it, I will have a couple of large plastic box that I'll slide up on the edge of the seats right here. That'll carry my pool noodles, tackle boxes. Then whenever I don't want it, if we just want to take the family out, we just unload it and the boat's empty. This trolling motor is a 12 volt. I was pinching pennies a little bit. I did not go for the 24 volt or the remote control. I will probably regret that in time, but for now, this is what it is. I did hook it up yesterday, used it. It moves the boat, seems to move it really well. Obviously, it's not gonna be as fast as a 24 volt system, but it is really nice that you can just unhook it. There's one wing nut that holds the whole thing on there, and it stays in place good. The only thing I don't like about it is if you don't take the trolling motor and you take family out and you got small kids, you may want to set your cooler. And I actually have a cooler that actually fits right over this hole, just because I'm always worried about young'uns just wanting to see everything and in awe of everything and watching. I'm always terrified of the worst case scenario. I think the military has given me that. But guys, I think that's getting pretty close to it. These are rod holders on the back here. You will just slide your rod in and it locks it. There's holes in the bottom for it. Your knife can go here, your pliers, anything you can imagine you can do, you can work with this. This is a really nice. I actually have a portable water pump, and it's just for lake water. It's not drinking water, but I can pump water out of this into a 5-gallon bucket. So if I make a mess up here, it's battery operated, it's rechargeable. All I have to do is rub it with my hand and just turn the nozzle on, and it sprays it off. Now the playpen cover will not cover the engine. That was some of my papers fell down with the specs on it. I'm gonna have to buy a boat cover for the motor. I do not want it to fail. The only way this thing stays like this, guys, is you got to put in the time and the effort after you are done using it to clean it and put it away. That's a hard part. These seats just fold right down. Now, one thing we had to figure out to raise them up, they don't want to just raise up. There's a little tab on the back side of it. You can see right there. If you push it in, and the seat raises right up. We will leave them down for storage reasons. I'm not going to put the top up. It's a black top, really nice. Covers 10 foot or a 9 foot 1 inch. It covers a big large spot in here. It does have a windscreen. The wind was blowing really hard yesterday. We caught a break just long enough to get the boat out of the water. If you've ever tried to load or unload a pontoon boat in the water, you don't have much control over it. It can really turn you against pontoon boats if you're not skilled at judging. You can't come straight to the trailer. You got to be upwind and slowly drift down to it, and then the moment's right, grab it. It took me 3 attempts. Finally, she went on. Not a huge deal. But this one comes from Freedom Marine in Guntersville, Alabama. I worked with Will. Will is one of the salesmen down there, and I'm telling you, just the nicest people. Easy to work with. It took them about a week to get a few items in. The trolling motor, they had to order for me. I was putting these away while we're talking here. They just slide up, guys, just that easy, but really nice. I was wondering how I was going to get bumpers on there without cutting holes and mounting something, and he gave me a pack of those. They give us some swag, some t-shirts. Constantly on the phone with us if there's anything, any questions. He called me, wanted to know about where I wanted this throughput for the extension cord that I didn't order. They give to me along with the charger inside. Just exceptionally nice people to deal with. I'm sure there's a lot of other dealers out there that are great folks to deal with, but if you're in the Alabama area, it could be worth your drive. This is the time of year that most folks don't buy boats, so boats wind up sitting. You may get one of your better deals right now while it's in the off season. About the only thing that's going to pick up now is duck season, and if you already got your boat for duck season, you probably ain't getting it this year. But Freedom Marine has a bunch of the little mud buggers out there. They still have several pontoon boats. They're just pulled on the backside. We want to go ahead and get this one, so I'll have the winter to fool with it, to prep it, because next summer we're going to be spending time on Lake Guntersville in this boat here. We'll be taking the little small mini camper out. It's just me and my wife, so it gets us by. It'll work. It is a little bit small, but it will work. So guys, if you got any questions that I can answer for you, if you're considering buying a boat, I'm by no means the know-all do-all expert, but I've done quite a bit of homework on this one before I bought it. So if you got questions, something I can help you with, leave a comment down in the comment section. I don't care if you subscribe, guys. Ain't nothing gonna happen with this channel. I'm just putting some information out there. I like messing with it. This video is gonna run full through, because I did not know how to edit. I've tried it and I've just have not been any good at editing. So most of my videos are just gonna be from start to finish. And if you like them the way they work out, great. Something I do see right here that I just spotted, guys. I got a feeling there's an option you could buy, because I see clips right here where you can actually snap a cover in. So I'm betting there's a cover that can go from right here to up here to cover that hole up in the bottom. I just now noticed that. Some of y'all was probably going to put that in your comments, and if you are, thank you, but I will check that. But I do got a 2-year-old grandbaby that I would like to have that blocked off where it doesn't look like a exit to him. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap this video up, guys. Freedom Marine in Gunnerville, they're not sponsoring this video, guys. I'm just doing it because they were so good to me. As a veteran, and I never used my veteran status. I never pulled the veteran card out, but this was not a cheap purchase. I asked them if they did any kind of veteran military discount. What he did, they sold me the trolling motor at cost. They threw the battery charger in free. They had to order the through for the plug. They threw that in free. And when you go from cost to list, I'm in the automotive world, is where I make my living. You know, that's where they make their money. This thing costs this, they list it for this. They mark this stuff up just crazy. It's just the way of the world it is. Saved me several $100s on the trolling motor. So if he didn't, that would have been fine too, because I was just plenty happy with him. But all right, guys, this is Pappy's Outdoor South here in Alabama. In the near future, we're going to be getting this thing out. We're going to be running noodles. We're going to be camping. We're going to have adventures with the grandkids. Just watch for the channel. See what's up. If you like it, say something. If you don't like it, say something. That's the only way I'm going to know if my content is any good or not. But guys, God bless you. And this is Pappy's Outdoor South, and I'll be seeing you.